Yo, 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 welcome one and all to another episode of Crate 808, the 90s hip-hop podcast that can't stop looking back at the good old days. Today we've got a very special guest on board to talk all things rap, a true UK hip-hop icon, world-renowned beatboxer, multi-vocalist and podcaster, Killa Kela. Coming up we have a chat about Kela's love for hip-hop, his introduction to the culture and how he ended up performing with the likes of Pharrell, Snoop Dogg and even Prince. So strap in, peep knowledge and let's dive in. So, can I just welcome UK hip-hop icon, Killa Kela.
Oh,
how you doing?
Don, thank you. Hello, how are you? All right?
All right, man. Yeah, it's been a minute, man, trying to get you on, but it's nice. First of all, if anyone out there is listening and it's like abroad or US, we're getting mad interactions from like New York and stuff like that. This man right here, he's been around for a minute. If anything, you got to just go back on YouTube, check out his beatboxing, mate, because the beatboxing alone is so sick to this day. But I love the fact that you've like branched out and done like so many other things after that. So yeah, man.
Thank you, brother, and I appreciate the love. It's nice to, because it's weird, because like with generations as things happen, I mean, there definitely is this kind of synergy towards the podcast. I think it's an on-trend thing, and the kind of conversations I have with people, it leans more towards the kind of interview world, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's nice that it's still recognised that I'm an artist and beatboxing and all that shit.
Yeah, man. Because that's what I first remember you as a beatboxer. So now when you're doing, so Kels is here, he's got his podcast on the go, and we'll talk about that later. But that's killing it. So I like the fact that you're spanning into different areas with it and stuff like that, man.
Thanks,
definitely.
Brother. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of funny moments that have happened that have, gained momentum and things have gone the way they have. But a lot of it, in retrospect, especially with the new projects I'm doing, it's just drive and tenacity. I don't really think about the hows. It's more just fucking doing it. Yeah. And beatboxing for me back then, I already knew I had the skill without sounding too egotistical or too overconfident. It's the fact. Like I already had it. It was the 10,000 hours I'd done previously, but just for fun because I liked it. I didn't have a name. You know what I mean?
It's your passion, right?
Yeah. So as soon as it came to the bit where it's like, oh well, I better jump on this now. It's like boom, boom, now it's like 1,000 miles an hour and louder. You know what I mean? Just went for it.
Just track you back to the beginning, because we like to kick off every podcast with the question, which is, what's the least hip hop thing you've done in the last 24 hours?
Least hip hop thing?
Yeah.
Listen to Poison. Look what a cat dragged in.
Oh snap! Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a massive like metalhead, but glam metal as well as thrash. I listen to Napalm Death as well.
Napalm Death.
Yeah, I mean, so like that's a little least hip hop.
Better than that. I like it, man. I like it. I had one today. I was going to tell you this. What I had today.
Yeah, what was yours? Come on.
Right, I need to, because I literally just happened to me on the way. So I was having a walk. I like to have a walk nowadays. I was actually listening to the Adam Buxton podcast. Don't know if you've heard that, but that is already the least hip hop thing you probably could do is listen to that. And actually, some really good shit I learned from that. So Dave Mitchell's on there. The guy's on all the comedian guy.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Bluetooth, and the history of Bluetooth is actually, it's named after a legendary Viking. I never fucking knew that shit.
Stop. Really?
Seriously, it's named after a Viking. I was like, what? So I Googled it, and yes, Bluetooth is actually like a legendary Viking.
That's amazing.
That's some crazy shit.
That's awesome.
Like, all right, so what's that about? But the actual least hip hop thing that actually happened, so I'm walking, and I found a cream egg in my pocket, and I was like, shit. Seriously. So I'm munching on this cream egg, and this guy's walking his dog. I'm in this park, and it comes to...
This sounds like a cream egg commercial already, bro.
But the weird thing is, right, so I was thinking this dog is like loving the fact that I'm having this cream egg, but I was being really stingy. I was being really stingy bastard, because I was like, can dogs eat chocolate? Can they eat chocolate? I don't know.
They can't eat chocolate, man.
They can't.
No, you didn't.
So I left. So I allowed it.
Yeah, it's funny one with dogs. They don't like it. It's some sort. It's like high end poison for them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a madness. Yeah.
See, if you were there, I'd have been alright. I was thinking if DMX was there or Snoop was there or something like that, they'd have known. Yeah, don't feed him chocolate.
Yeah, I wonder how much trivia they have on dogs. I mean, they got some fucking trivia.
DMX must, man. DMX must do, man. So,
that question.
but man, get on to like serious like hip hop shit, right? First of all, how did you even get into the game? What got you into hip hop?
What got me into hip hop? I must have been about 12 or 13. It was just like tapes at school. Like I was banging to like my metal, and then I got all my metal tapes confiscated because it had swearing on it. I remember that much. I was that young.
Oh, what, the teacher took it?
No, my mum and dad took it. They weren't having any of it. And then I went from that straight to NWA. But I just learned how to keep the tapes quiet. You know what I mean? You just turn them down a little bit. To be honest, allowed, shit like that. They don't actually have to have the inlay card in them when you've got them laid out, shit like that. And then I heard Anthrax, Public Enemy, and that was like, I think that's still to me is like the best fucking rap rock record. They dug their own grave with that because you can't repeat that. Yeah. That's a fucking tune ever.
Everyone talks about that track.
Yeah, man. And then Takes Nation of Millions. I had to check that album out and the snowball carried on from there. Now I must have been about 12 or something.
So that's interesting because it's like a metal avenue on the way in.
Yeah.
So yeah, just because we talked to Orifice Vorgatron from Foreign Beggars.
He was the same,
very, very similar.
Yeah.
For me, it was none of that. Like it was the first subculture. I'm from like a working ex-pit village in like Sheffield. Yeah. So it was like really working class, really white, no brown people apart from my family. So really, the only thing that got me to hip hop was the fact that I saw a black person on screen doing something completely different, which I related to because it felt like, he's the only person who's slightly different, the same looking as me. Because Asian music was around us all the time, Bhangra music, Hindi music, it was around as we were kids, but you ain't bumping that really. You want something of your own.
That's right.
So the subculture thing. It's really interesting that metal as a subculture gets you into hip hop because for me it went straight into hip hop and then I got into dubstep.
How old are you now, though?
Mate, don't tell me that. Don't ask that. Jesus, mate.
How old would you not
39,
be?
39, mate.
Well, I'm older than you, so you're all right.
Oh, right.
Actually, now you mentioned Sheffield, you know what I mean? Like there was Y&R Productions. They were from Sheffield. Do you remember those guys?
No, because again, Jest. Yeah, clearly. So he's part of the productions, right?
Part of Y&R Production, but there was also he was in a collaborative thing called AM and Jest, and AM was from Sheffield, from what I remember, and there was a whole bunch of others, and it was massive. Y&R was originally from Sheffield.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? And I was pen pals with them through Hip Hop Connection.
Snap.
Yeah.
So Hip Hop Connection has a lot of that. Hip Hop Connection has a lot of that pen pal stuff.
Yeah, the connections thing on the back of the page. So you had that, and that's how I met Jess. But I didn't realise Jess was originally from Crawley. So
is he?
Yeah. He moved up to Huddersfield when he was about. I think he must have been about. He'll probably tell you if he came on.
Yeah.
About 13 or 14. I think he moved up there, and I was pen pals with him. You know what I mean?
That's mad. Because I thought he was Northern. I just thought he was Northern. I didn't think he. Oh right, interesting. Was Louis Theroux on that? I think Louis Theroux did some shit on them connection pages. Mate, that's mad.
For real?
Genuinely, I think Louis Theroux, the fucking guy on BBC, doing all this.
He lives around the corner from me now.
Is it?
That's madness.
Mate,
that's madness.
I genuinely think he was on there.
That's madness.
If I'm wrong, listeners,
I'm definitely
tell me I'm wrong.
Hollering at Louis Theroux for real.
But yeah, man, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Amazing,
it's great. It's quality.
Yeah, that's how I got into. That was the early stages, and then when I got into I was beatboxing since I was 6 or 7 years old, like silly young. Like it was nothing. It was no name. It was just a thing. And my dad used to play the drums. You know what I mean? Not that I think there's any like creative connection there. My mum was into like Barry White and Michael Jackson and things like that. When my dad was more into Led Zeppelin and Cream and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So, but there wasn't a lot of music going around apart from what we'd hear in the car, and that was that. So there wasn't a music thing. I just had this thing of like I liked making music with my mouth. And then, fast forward to me being, I think I must have been like 18, 19. I used to come up to London every weekend, hang out with my then crew, which was called 360 Physicals. That was like my collective and crew. But before that, I was doing demos with another guy called Prime and Kela. They're based out of Somerset. So I was always doing shit. And then I had a crew called Platoon. I was doing it forever.
So where's that drive come from? Is it your parents? Is it just something you had as a kid, or like your mates? Or I don't know. It sounds like you sound like a much more proactive like kid than I grew up with. Like they just were very passively listening to things, and the only participation you had was probably getting a t-shirt or going to a gig. Yeah. But like that's really interesting how you're really active in that shit, man.
Yeah, I can't work it out. I think a lot of it is when you're from a village and you don't have the culture at your doorstep. I'm sure you can relate to it.
Definitely.
You find every which way to plug into and embody it to the point where a normal kid who's from London just goes out and he'll see graffiti. You know what I mean? I used to be in complete fucking awe when I'd see like tags of like Nima and Heel just down the road in Brighton. That was just too much for my head. I was just like, you know what I mean? And that's how Kela came about, because I took Kilo's name and I took Nima's name and I just took the letters and that was it. That's how it came about. And then it developed. But yeah, it was always that shit, man. I just used to love the culture. I used to love the embodying it and being it, and it was a participation thing, you know what I mean? And I couldn't play guitar like, you know what I mean, like Eddie Van Halen or Slash. It's like, so rap to me has always been a youth culture and a disposable youth culture. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, okay, I've done that, that's it, it's done. Forget it. That let someone else pass it. That's love. You know what I mean? That's giving it away. That's what it was always about. It's like things are done. That's it. Next.
That's what always got me about graph as a kid. I remember just seeing stuff and being like, "Oh, that's a piece of art." And then I don't know. In the back of my head, I was like, "God, how wound up must you be when that gets painted over?" But then what you've just done nails it. It's like, no, that is of its time. That is there. That's my piece of work. And bang, I'm moving on.
Exactly.
And mate, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah. So, how did you get it as a career though? From like loving it and doing it? Is that like how did it lead into a career?
Right. So connections pages again, Hip Hop Connection. I'd always done this like demo with this guy Prime, and it became a little bit, you know, I mean, fell out on some silly shit. I don't know what it was, but like, it was just, you know, young egos or something. I'm a 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And then I was already going back and forth up into London. And I just got this like little 8 tracks on it, and I started layering the beatbox and stuff. And I went on Connections page to see if there was any rappers that wanted to do stuff over it. And I wasn't getting anywhere with that. I was like, I'll rap on it myself, sort of thing. And I just always liked flicking through the connections and having these pen pals, you know what I mean? It was nice. Yeah. And then I saw Jazz Fudge like posted on an advert on there saying, looking for designers to do artwork for jazz. Now I'm already like, I like the illustration. I like drawing and shit like that. So I sent him over that, and I was like, I didn't even give them a tape. I gave them an 8-track tape, and I threw it in there. I just threw it in because I was like, well, no one's going to rap on it. Do you know what I mean? It's like apart from me. And off it went. And then I got a call 9 a.m. the following day, when obviously the post had landed at Vadim's door, and Vadim calls me up and he's like, yo, listen, my name's DJ Vadim. I'm from Ninja Tune, but Jazz Fudge is my record label.
That's crazy.
I love your artwork, but that beatboxing, it's crazy. Where do you live? Do you want to come to the studio? And I was like, when? He goes, do you want to come tomorrow? I'm like,
oh my God.
All right. You know what I mean? So 18-year-old me just fucking jumps on the train. And I'm on, next thing I'm like doing a track with Sarah Jane. Is it Sarah Jane? For the USSR Life from Another Side album, which arguably was like his kind of seminal moment of like, you know what I mean? He had some crazy artists on there. The artists that I knew, like, I was going to clubs all the time. I didn't know no DJ Vadim though. You know what I mean? I knew Scratch Perverts, obviously.
Yeah, Scratch Perverts, yeah.
And I would go to Brighton and stuff to see shows, but I was never like the biggest go-to rap gig goer. I wouldn't know who Vadim was. And then I went round there, and he was like, the same day I recorded the stuff, he was like, do you want to come on tour?
Geez, that's a whirlwind.
He wasn't fucking around, and I was like, all right then. This was a big deal to me. This is like, I'm going to Glasgow, I need a passport. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got real.
Yeah, man. Damn. As an 18-year-old as well. Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never been on a plane, bro. I did when I was like in 1989. Yeah. But like my mum and dad weren't like those kind of people that would go on holiday.
Yeah,
we weren't that family. We were just like working class.
But then from there, man, your career, just doing a bit of research to this pod, and I was like, yeah, I think I know Kela, you know, I know your thing. And then it's like, damn, man, you work with Prince.
Yeah.
You work with Prince. I didn't know, but I know you did Pharrell. I know you did some stuff with NERD and Snoop as well and stuff like that. Like, I mean, how are those guys to work with? Like, just as other creatives. A
lot of it becomes a blur in the moment. Like, I definitely remember working with Pharrell, like, because it was on so many occasions that I put the call in, and you know, props to Philip Lees as well, who was Billionaire's Boy Club kind of overall manager, but he was also tour manager to Pharrell and NERD at the time. You know, he definitely looked out for me and making opportunity shine for, like, if Pharrell was anywhere, I'd hit up Phil and he'd be like, yeah, come over. And just by default, it would be like, yo, where's Kela? And then I'm on stage. It was like that. It wasn't like I have this in a diary planned. It was more spontaneous. Yeah. But it took me a lot of places, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I remember that one well. Prince was a mad one because, like, I just was a gargling mess. It was my birthday as well. So it's just like, I remember waiting for 5 hours outside the O2 Arena. 5 hours outside some back entrance waiting for Nika Costa, who's a good friend of Prince and was warming. She had a support slot with him. And it was one of his 11 dates, and she was like, yeah, okay, come on. I'm like, all right, cool, all right, I'll be there. But like, she wasn't there when I got there, and it was all that sort of stuff. So it heightens in your head this whole thing of like, is this even going to happen?
Is this going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, but and then we hadn't rehearsed anything, but she said, I want a breakdown of blah, blah, blah. You do that. And I was like, oh, cool. And she goes, oh, yeah, and Prince should be joining us on stage. And I'm like, all right, so I'm fucking gone. I'm already gone. In my head, I'm like, a bit of me's like, please don't. Just don't even bother telling me. Don't tell me, just in case it doesn't happen. Don't tell me if it does happen, it's just all too much. And then I remember being backstage, we're all chilling, and Nika's like so casual with it. Do you know what I mean? Because they go in the studio together and everything. She's just like, it's another day. For me, it's definitely not. You know, there's fucking legends in the room.
Yeah.
And then I just suddenly see like trays being taken away, like a lot of like meat and stuff like that. And is it Maceo, the trumpet player?
Yeah.
He's there, and he turns around to me and he goes, "You know not to swear, right?"
What?
And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Oh yeah." And then he goes, "Prince don't want any swearing, okay?" And he's vegan, obviously, so you get all the food. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to the toilet. I'm gonna wash my face, look in the mirror, sort myself out. And as I'm walking out, I'm seeing rose petals being dropped around. I'm like, he's definitely coming on the stage. It's going fucking down. So yeah, it does, and it does. So I'm beatboxing, he's playing guitar and doing backing vocals with Nika there, and it's just all going off. And because there's no cameras on it, it's never been really documented. But my boy Spider J was in the crowd, and yeah, as long as he's alive, that memory and that moment holds true, I think.
Damn, man, that's crazy. But that's it, man. That's the heights you can reach, though, right? It's like, again, I saw the Snoop thing, and to be fair, Kel's here is doing some live podcasts at the moment, so check out his Facebook, go onto his Instagram. Seriously, very insightful, very funny, great look into the UK scene generally. So if you ever want to get insight into how the UK scene has been and where it's going, check out Kel's pods.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
that live podcast we were at, you were talking about Snoop, and you were at the European MTV Awards, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, you got to tell me that story again.
It's a matter. It's funny. It wasn't at the time. At the time, it was like pretty fucking. It was only afterwards that I realised, because it would, wouldn't it? But I was there for the MTV Music Awards. Sammy Deluxe called me up and said, "Oh, I'm doing this showcase with Snoop Dogg." So it's all via Sammy. Like, Sammy's my G. He's actually like I guess he's like the Snoop Dogg equivalent in Germany.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because he's huge in Europe, like, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gas region. You know what I mean? Like, he killed it. And so we'd rehearsed our bit, but I'd not met Snoop, and I'm there. There's this thing. It's like so at this event, there's one main stage, and then there's this kind of like other area where the hosts and the kind of, you know, award winners and all the sorts of things and the bands play. They kind of congregate. It's like a little paddock that is a stage. And I was there with, you know, there was My Chemical Romance, Dave Grohl. I'm dropping names. I'll pick them up later. But I was there. I'm a one. So I mean, and my manager was there. Bless him. And he was doing nothing but like being keen on just wanting to like me to fucking hang out with people. And I was like, chill, what we'll do, give me a couple more Prosecco's and all good. But, and then Lewis Hamilton walks through.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know he knew me. And he was like, "Oh, Killa Kela," like that. And I'm like, "Oh, wicked. Right, Lewis," like that. And so he's saying, "Yeah, what are you doing now?" I was like, I'm performing with Snoop. And he goes, have you met him? And I'm like, "Yeah." No, I hadn't met him. I hadn't fucking met him. But I didn't know it was to come.
Yeah.
And then he turns to us, he goes, "Oh, there he is over there." And he's over there in the corner. He goes, "Can you introduce me?" And I'm like, "Fuck, man. Oh, shit." So like, I walk over there, and it's kind of that moment, you know, when all focus is on you, and I'm looking behind, and there's my manager who's jump up excited. It's all of this is happening, and then there's Lewis Hamilton, you know, and then there's his cousin, you know, and then I get to Snoop, and he's fucking tall, and I remember just like tapping like the bottom of his shoulder blade,
Yeah.
and he turns around and looks at me and goes, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Snoop Dogg, Killa Kela, good to meet you. This is driver Lewis Hamilton," you know what I mean? And I kind of give the kind of thing, the swing of like, here he is, and the handshake's about to happen, and it's just one of them, you know, limp kind of things, a little limp handshake, and it's just like, oh, cold and shit. But I'm like, okay, cool. So anyway, yeah, you guys have met. See you later, Snoop. Speak, like, and I kind of ushered Lewis away abruptly, and we went back to the table we were standing at, and he kind of looked around at me. He goes, "He's a bit cold, wasn't he?" Sort of that kind of vibe. And I was like, yeah, he's busy, man. He's
Snoop Dogg.
He's Snoop Dogg, you know. And as I'm talking, like, this Nicole Serginger walks past, and he turns around and says, "Her? Do you know her?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
He's such a blagger.
Yeah. So I go over to her, and I'm like, "Nicole Serginger, Lewis Hamilton." And that's how they got together.
You go.
Yeah, that's as true as a story as you can hear.
Man, starting these romances, these celeb romances.
At that time, yeah. I mean, they were quite the look, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Mate, that's, again, for me, it's just the heights you can reach. And you can say it's off your beatboxing, but I think it's your general charisma and character that it carries over into that art.
I appreciate that, brother.
So, I mean, like, if you're looking at, like, your favourite performances,
Yeah.
But have you got any that stand out to you that you're going to tell your grandkids about and shit when you're older?
It's all a blur. Like my favourite performances.
Or is there anything like you perform with someone where you've been like, well, to be fair, that's probably Prince, right? Like,
Prince was up there, but I still didn't think I wasn't on my A. That's the thing. I wasn't on my A game with Prince because I was so like in awe. If I really think about things that I was like bang on my A game, I reckon Royal Variety performance. It was good. It was good because I was really wrecked. I had a bad heavy drinking the night before,
right?
And I just had to sort it out. And as a show goes, for what I had to do, it wasn't like overly technical. It was just me and a bunch of breakdancers and BMXers, and I was just providing the music. So it wasn't like a super brain heavy one, but it was great because I was able to play within the parameters of the simplicity, and it just felt like it all came together all right.
That's good, man. Yeah. Is that must be on YouTube or something?
Nah,
like,
but
right?
my mum's got it.
Is it?
Yeah, she's got it on DVD.
Get her to upload it, mate. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Let me just take a small chronic break here to let you know how you can get in touch with us here at Crate 808 and maybe even win a dope t-shirt with our sick podcast album artwork on it. We'd love it if you were to get onto iTunes and rate and review this podcast, but in a rap form. So we're calling it the Crate 808 Rap Review, and we want you to drop some bars on there reviewing the show, and we'll pick out a winner who gets a free Crate 808 t-shirt. So get rap reviewing, and if you want to get in touch with us generally, hit us up with an email to crate808@gmail.com or Twitter @crate808, or peep our stream of 90s hip-hop content on our Instagram @crate_808. Alternatively, you can use hashtag crate808 to give us a shout. Now, back to the show. But yeah, man, so moving on to, again, just going more into the career, but has there ever been something where someone's give you a piece of advice, or what's the best piece of advice you probably got from anyone in the industry?
Vadim once, when I first, it still holds true now, even though he's got kids, but he told me, if you want to have your career, don't have kids. And it stuck with me. I've never had kids. Right? I'm not like this is spicy, okay? But I'm not like the biggest kid fan. Maybe I'm putting the focus on the wrong subject matter. Perhaps it's modern day parenting and the expectations of the mollycoddling of kids, and that does me in.
As in, like, you think it's too soft nowadays or too pandering? Is that what you're saying, or is it like?
I just know it's just me and my immaturity. I think I hate it when people suddenly go soft when they were fucking hardcore ravers back in the day. All of a sudden, they're coming out of Birkenstocks and fucking. You know what I mean? I'm walking like a dog with a double pram and a latte, and it's like what are you doing?
Yeah, man. I feel you.
It's the lifestyle of choice that they've. I don't know. It's nothing rock and roll about that at all.
I don't think you. Yeah, exactly, man. I don't think you should have to. First of all, in my just growing up, I don't think you should be defined by one thing anyway. Yeah. So, like, I don't think. Yes, I'm a hip hop head, but like, I should be defined by that one thing. Especially when hip hop is such an expansive thing. You could be a million different things in that one thing. Yeah. So yeah, it winds me up when someone fully buys into parenthood.
I'm saying,
and like, that's all they are now.
Yeah.
All I am is a mum. All I am is a dad.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, mate, you were someone before that.
Yeah.
I understand for a period of time that's your case. 6-9 months of having a kid. Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
If that's it now, and you aren't doing like,
I'm saying,
do you know what I mean? Like this podcast right now, mate, I wouldn't be doing this if it, without. I'd need that energy.
Yeah.
I need that energy when I get in, the little man.
Bro, for real.
But I'd also need myself, my own energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for them as well.
Exactly, man. Because when he gets older, what's he going to have? He's going to have. I want him to know that his dad was a person, mate.
Yeah.
I weren't just your dad. I was a person. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm not qualified to talk about kids, so it's really hard for me. That's what I mean by spicy, because I know there's going to be a lot of contradiction in what I'm trying to say, and people will disagree. Like my brother, he does a great job of balancing out the kid thing, but then he's not got the responsibilities that I've got.
Yeah.
As a self-employed person, my mate Clarkson does a really good job of looking after his kids. Like, there's a handful that I know personally, who have retained their kind of youthful
exuberance.
Yeah, man, and don't feel like they have to suddenly be putting themselves in a real boring parenty place. I've always been maybe to my detriment in years to come, but I've always been like low on responsibilities. Like, fuck a house, I don't want to buy a house, I don't want a car, don't want a dog, you know what I mean? I just like doing what
Yeah.
I do, you know?
man.
So then that's really, so that, as selfish as that sounds, it works for me because then I'm able to sustain without, you know, with the right disciplines and not feel in any way like, you know, I've got a low footprint, you know, eco footprint. I like that.
Yeah,
do you know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
You remind me of one of my mates who he does he's on a few podcast episodes for Create 808 where we're talking and debating albums. Go check them out, by the way.
Oh, right.
And he's exactly the same. He's a surfer guy. He does MMA. He's in Cornwall now, self-employed.
Yeah, fire.
Very much, I'm chill, man. I'm good. And he's very happy, and that's it. That's, you know, you're just saying there about taking responsibility and like keeping that. We need to move on to the fact that your podcasts and first of all, I want to know how they started, but also that how are you dealing with that responsibility of having something that it's a slog, man. A podcast is a slog. Yeah. So I mean, tell me, first of all, how did it all start? How did it all start?
Right, so I broke up with my then missus of 8 years, and I was fucking angry. I was just like, fuck this, you know, because, you know, you put all your effort in. I mean, you know, we're friends and it's all good. Life goes on. But at that time, I was like, wow, I realised, like, because we had a project called Them and Us, which was a whole different project. It was a whole different thing. It was like a electronic, dubsteppy, pop, 80s synth style project, and she was fronting it as a female singer, and I was playing bass and trigger and stuff and beatbox sounds and whatnot. It was a whole different thing. But, you know, for a project to do really well, you need a minimum of 5 years before you see any return on it. When it gets to, like, us being together for 8 years and we're about 4 years into the project, and then we break up with each other, and that whole 5 years, well, I wasn't doing Killa Kela, I wasn't doing anything, suddenly it was like, poof.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, I'm still part fuming about it now, because I'm like, I don't like things in the ether.
Yeah.
You know, just floating around like debris. It does me in, man. Like, that's creativity to waste. And but that's cool. So I just doubled down, got angry, and I was like, well, I need to reconnect with my friends. I need to connect with my culture and not be so judgmental on myself. Like, there's definitely a moment where I didn't think I was good enough to come back into the scene. I felt like I'd compromised myself, you know, or more like just self-doubt, a lot of self-doubt. You know, at the point I hadn't even done beatboxing or anything. But as soon as I started doing podcast, picking up the phone call and speaking to people that were like mad prolific at the time, or had come in for a second wave, they're like, yeah, we're coming out, cool. And it's almost like the synergy in that was like, all right, cool, now this actually, I got to figure it out. So I got straight onto like Ableton, my fucking laptop. If you've never been around in my place, but it is fucking, it's a sellotape massacre, bro. Like the fan blew on my laptop. Yeah. Every time it goes fucking haywire, the screen goes white. Whoa. So I can't see shit. So I've got this sellotape on my rack, and it's been like it's like it for fucking years now. I film everything on the phone, everything as I can, and then I've got all the apps on my phone that I edit and cut, and all the fucking video stuff, and I bounce it with the audio onto there, Ableton, push it out. It's everything is done like, and it still is, you know. Only recently have I got like new gear, but my attitude was like, bro, I got to run with it. Like, I'm running with this, and I know what in the beginning, they walked in, they're like, is this it? but it's punk, and that's it. And he cookie cut that shit, and I just went in and in and in, and then deeper into the rabbit hole, and now we're here.
Man, that's it. The whole, it's prolific. That's one thing. It's prolific. Like, you've got episodes upon episodes, especially the YouTube stuff is really good.
Thank you.
I like the setup, man, and I like the punk ethos, and it's something I wasn't brought up in, but when I got into punk, I went in, like, drilled in.
You've got to go in.
I drilled in kind of things, like Crass and people like that.
For
like,
real,
I was like, this is like my mid-20s, so it wasn't echoing what I'm going through, but I could feel that ethos, man. Do you know what I mean? That energy, and obviously Bad Brains and people like that, and then you go into, like, you think it's just, you can do
DIY.
it. You can do it. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the pod that you're doing, I really enjoy that. And then you see, like, the insight. So there's a lot of people on there that I've not heard of, right? But like, you got some young heads on there who are like making music I would never have heard of, right? So now I'm like, shit, I'm gonna check these boys out. Like, some heavy duty, like, I don't even know what genre it really is, but it's like, okay, this is like, it's like a hardcore edge of grime with a bit of metal. And so I can't remember all the artists that you've had on, but there's been artists where I've been like, I've learned something, I've gone and sort something out, and I love new music generally. So when I'm hearing something new from young people with the energy,
it's fire.
I like in that. And
I appreciate that.
Then clearly you also have Nana Cherry, people like that on there. the one that killed it, man, was just been released. Is that one with Kingdom?
Yeah.
So if
I had trouble mixing that one. That was quite a hard one because like I had to go to their location because they're all Southern boys. So like, and this was dirty South. This was like, just don't call it London. It's like way out there. But you know, those are my heroes. You know, and so I went for it. But like I had 2 fucking 58s that I was working with, and that was per 2 people.
Yeah.
So it's 2 people per mic, and that was hard. And then we was eating at the same time, which is clunk, clunk, clunk eating. And then on top of that, the room was echoing, bouncing around. It wasn't my normal location, so I didn't have the presets. So I just go click, click, click. So I'm still not 100% sold on the sound, but whatever.
Do you know what though, mate? By the way, if anyone doesn't know who Kingdom are, they are just like 3. It's a UK hip hop supergroup, man.
Supergroup, yeah.
3 legends: Rodney P, Ty, and Black Twang, who's the first UK MC I really got into.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, right. And that's what I'm saying is like when you have them 3 on, the way they were talking about the culture today was like I had the fire lit, man. I was like ready to listen.
Brilliant.
I was like, do you know what? It's so good. So good to hear Ty and all of them. Rodney P. Rodney P's always been that way anyway. Like he gets me excited when he does documentaries and he's talking and I feel like the hip hop scene, hip hop culture is killing it generally anyway, I feel. But like I think the podcast is really good for that. And mate, the way they're going at Westwood as well, like not even going out, but just breaking down the whole Westwood thing. It ain't just about the beef and calling someone a pussy or whatever. It's about this is what it means to us, man. We built this shit. And as a kid who has like no stake in the game really, I'm just ahead. That's it, man. And I've just followed these people. When you hear that, you think, I'm so glad I'm part of this fucking culture, man.
For real. I mean, this is the connective DNA, and this goes across the board, whether it's hip hop or you know anybody that I've had on the show. These are people that I've crossed paths with and I'm able to have a conversation with. I'm always like blown away by the honesty of people. And one thing also, the other thing that podcast teaches you, not only you know educationally, but like teaches you to fucking listen. It's mad. Like all of a sudden, like people walk away going, "Yeah, man, he's a really nice guy." It's like I listened. You know what I mean? Listening's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an active thing as well. You can be passive and zone out and be like, oh yeah, I heard that, it's all good. But listening, I feel like you need to just be actively listening.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I mean?
real.
It's not a passive thing. And I again, that's one of the beauty of this whole thing, man. The fact that this podcast thing's been blown up for years, and that's why, man. Some of the best ones are some of the ones that you don't expect that insight or that opening up, man.
I swear to God,
that's what I'm saying, mate. That's what I'm saying. We touching on the hip hop culture and generally, like, I'd love to know what your current theory, like, what do you how do you feel about hip hop culture at the moment?
Graph's coming back in a big way. That's what I feel. The DJ culture is fucking incredible. Like that is absolutely fire. Like what they're doing now, especially with the Red Bull freestyle stuff. It's fucking insane, like insane. Big up my boy Revert. So yeah, the quality of like playing with music literally is just like a whole different beast. And
because for 30 odd years, 30 to 40 years, it's been doing it. So now to do things and they be genuinely different, you're going out the box, mate.
For
like,
real.
I've been to like breaking conventions. Again, it's been a minute for a while since I've been to them, not gonna lie, but the last ones I've been to, the breaking conventions alone, I'm like, holy shit, like these boys have grown up and they know this shit's been done. We got to switch it up. I remember taking my missus to one of these things, these world championships, and she was just like, she's
what,
not
the B-boy champs?
Yeah, B-boy champs.
That was in, that was the other month, wasn't it?
It wasn't this year, it was a few years ago.
Okay.
A few years ago.
Okay.
But again, I bet they're just like, it's not even, I mean, it always has been about character and charisma, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like, it's now when you want to follow someone afterwards, I need to check his Insta out, man, because that boy's going on.
Yeah, it's
you know
true.
I mean? And I like that. Like, I like the social aspect of stuff that you can, again, go on and see what the guys actually like.
Yeah.
I think that immediacy of knowing someone, like as a kid, the gatekeepers would not let you know that, innit? Like, I'm listening to Westwood.
That's blown now. There's no gatekeepers no more.
No more.
There's
Mate.
no more gatekeepers. You know, for better or for worse, you got no choice.
I think it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
It's great. It's great, bro. Like I have these days where it's just like, hey, you know what? In fact, I had it the other day. I put an audio of my milkshake beatboxing over top of Farage and Johnny what's his face getting milkshake for him.
Yeah.
And I had the idea in the steamer in the gym. I got home. It was 10:30. I edited it, did it all. By 11:30, it was up. And because I said so, that's how it went. And it, you know, no one telling me no one saying it's no. Just go with your instinct. being able to facilitate it, make it happen. That's amazing.
Man, that's it.
That's what it's all about.
Imagine knowing that when you were a kid, mate. Like, again, to be fair, maybe the guys in New York were just that, though, innit? When it all started, that's what it was. It was like, no, fuck it, we're doing this. It don't matter what anyone else thinks, we're doing it.
Yeah, there's an immediacy for graph.
Yeah.
There is that DIY, well, I'm doing it, boom, 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 done it. You know what I mean? That still exists in it, but it's just a different era. It's
man.
Technology.
That's it.
So, yeah, technology with DJing, fuck yeah. And
what do you think to the music itself, hip-hop?
What I think, my first thing is, like, define it. It's quite a hard one. I don't know what I think of it. I like mumble rap, for whatever it is. I like that in the same way I like Napalm Death and Cannibal Corpse. It's like I don't have to know what every word they're saying is. Do you know what I mean? It's just tune your ear in differently. It's like listening to Spanish rap. I don't know. It depends how you want to take your music. You know, I'm not a big fan of, like, you know what? Auto-tune is cool. You know, I'm fine with T-Pain did a really great job, right? but then at the same time, like, some people are auto-tuning their raps for just versing, just so it's in tune with, like, I remember Guru doing that. I don't know. It's just not really. I don't think that shouldn't be a jail-free card and skill set.
Yeah. I think that when you're manipulating your actual talent at times, it can be a little bit grating for me. But then you can also put the fact that, well, isn't it a talent to know you can do that with your voice? It's like, maybe.
Producers got it right? Like, I will, the beats that I make for my tunes, they've all processed beats, but beatbox. That's it. I get that. For producers, it's important. Like the human flute, which has been rife in, like, so much EDM. Like, that's fucking awesome. That's the human voice. That's incredible. Some of the stuff that is happening in beatboxing nowadays, it's like the URL of beat, like, insane. And they're replicating electronic sounds. Do you know what I mean? So it has its purpose. I just feel like with rappers, like, I go and see some rappers nowadays, and this is what really switches me off going to a gig, because, like, well, you're right. And I know it used to be the case, like Rakim and Ultramagnetics, they all used to kind of rap over their own raps. But doing it live, I mean, I thought we'd gone through that. And now you've got these kids that are just rapping over, like, already vocal beats. They're not even rapping on instrumentals. And for me, it's like, it's kind of like
what's the point?
Yeah, it's the Guitar Hero culture. It's
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You go in for the atmosphere maybe, and people going a bit wild in the crowd and shit like that. But still, yeah, I know what you mean. To be fair, hip hop's never been. I don't know. It's great, but it never translates itself live.
Hip hop, right? In fact, did you just say that?
Yeah,
it's true.
It's true though, right?
It's true,
like,
and it pains me because, like, I remember seeing OC and Big L. I remember seeing all these, but bro, I swear to God, like, changed my life. But again, that's where I go back to the disposalness of it. It's like, it doesn't last forever like that. People, even the things I've just said there, it's contradictory for me to say it, but, like, things move on.
Yeah,
that shit isn't entirely designed for us.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's it. Exactly.
We have to kind of acclimatise our ears to this shit, or fuck off. You know, it's and that's one thing that's podcast has, like, made me really forward thinking on. It's like new ways of thinking things through.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I love that. And especially in long form.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just talking about live gigs, man. Have you seen Idols? Have you seen Idols?
No.
Mate, that's one.
Who's Idols? What's that?
Idols are a Bristol band. They're like kind of post-punk, but mate, they are up there right now as live performances.
That's sick, yeah.
I've been twice to see them. Mate, it moved me to the point where I'm, like, trying to kiss the lead guitarist, mate. Like, I'm in there, like, trying to lay I'm smacking up, mate. Trust me, it's like it's the last thing I went to where I was like,
Idols,
holy shit, yeah, Idols, man.
They're
Check
on
them out.
Instagram.
Check them out. Yeah, they've been Insta. Yeah, I think they have blown up, to be fair, but, like, they're still saying true. They've got 2 albums out, and they're
young band. They're young band, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, young, yeah.
There's some fucking amazing new talent out there, bro.
Man, standard.
Like, you know, they come on the show, and I'm still like, I feel there's a level of audacity, a fucking nerve I have of bringing people around to making people come to my yard. Do you know what I mean? Like,
a bit like I've done with you today, mate, though, isn't it? It is a little bit like, oh, God, am I all right doing this?
Yeah. All the time, bro. That doesn't leave you.
So, mate, moving it on, there's a few, like, questions I had to ask you. Just generally, I love to ask guests this. First of all, was there, like, a 90s album you would just bang?
EPMD, Business Never Personal.
Okay, that was
my shit.
Man.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
All the other ones, like Midnight Marauders, Wu-Tang, I mean, they're just... But for me, like, when I heard that, and then I was like, oh, mate, now I'm really into, like... Then I got into Redman, and you get into all that stuff there. Yeah, I think, yeah, EPMD.
Nice. And have you got a top 5? Have you got a top 5 all time in your head?
Albums.
MCs.
Yeah. Pharoah Monch, Busta Rhymes, Nas, Ice Cube, yeah. I'm tussling. I'm trying to think of people that influenced me as opposed to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Tell you what, man, I think Pav, Foreign Beggars.
Is it?
Yeah.
Orifice Vorgatron.
I'm not even playing, like, he can rap over fucking anything.
No, man, yeah, definitely. And that's one thing. I don't know what the word for that is, but it just drum and bass, dubstep,
Yeah.
EDM shit.
Yeah.
Obviously hip hop.
But his flow on, it's just, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
And I put him in there for that reason. For
Damn.
real.
Yeah, I love that, mate. It's a wicked five.
Yeah.
Pharrell alone. Yeah. Jesus, man, that boy.
I never understood why both Pharrell and fucking Buster weren't on the Art of Rap documentary.
Do you know what? That's Jesus. Was Buster not? Buster wasn't on that.
Neither was Pharrell and Monch. Like, what's going on?
Shit, yeah. And they must have approached. At least approached Buster. But like Monch is like, I don't know. He seems very. He's on the down low, isn't he? He's a bit on the down low.
Yeah.
But again, you're right. Them two.
You missed it.
Words can't explain, mate. Like how ridiculous those two boys are. Really.
I've had it with people all the time. Like people, you don't expect Buster to be having the fans that he has, like even outside of rap. You know what it was? It's because he took the brave step of doing something so wild. Do you know what I mean? Like he's voluntarily as well. You know, he decided to wear big blowout fucking suits and go fucking crazy with fisheye lenses. And it's just like Buster with the dreads. Like he became a character.
He is one of the biggest characters. Like if you have like a comic book of fucking hip hop, he is like front and center, mate. 100%. He's just unreal. Rah like a dungeon fucking dragon, man. That's that shit. So moving on to that, what 90s artist do you think has aged the best in hip hop?
What, in looks or vibe?
Both looks and music or general vibe.
It's so shallow, isn't it? Well, looks. No, I think who's aged good. Stylistically, I think Chuck D's done good. Yeah. Because of the Prophets of Rage. Do you know what I mean? I think he's done really good there. Not going to lie. I think for looks, dare I say, I think Redman's probably... He looks exactly how he looked.
He does.
You know?
It's him and Snoop for me.
Snoop, yeah, defo.
They were like, oh, come on, what are you eating, mate?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the weed. Maybe he's just smoking shitloads of weed.
And Be Real looks pretty. He's up there as well.
Yeah, maybe it's just that, mate. I don't know, but I like Redman, man. He's always there would be no Eminem if it wasn't for Redman, mate. So mate. So another few little questions we have that we ask all our guests, mate. Because we span the 90s era on this pod, right? So we go from everything from the Native Tongues movement to the West Coast G-Funk, and then we touch on the bling era as well, like the like mid to late 90s, isn't it? Yeah. So have you got like the blingiest thing you ever wore or bought to wear?
Blingiest thing? Yeah, I used to have this all-in-one like Tommy Hilfiger. I've forgotten the cartoon character that was on the back of it, but I had the top to bottom like basketball starter shell suit thing. Nice. That was fucking fly. I wish I had that now. Yeah.
That would still bang now as well.
If you still had that now. Bang, bro. Like it was. It was good. But I like my clothes. And I wish I'd kept that.
Ah, cool. I like that one, man. And then so we got a little playlist going on Spotify because we realised that when we're talking, it really is down about the woo, right? So we talk about the woo, and we forget the back catalogue of the woo alone, with all the other solo artists from the woo. There's always like some hidden bangers that people bring out and like, shit, do you remember that one? Do you remember that one? Do you remember that one? So like, we just like to ask, is there any hidden woo bangers that you know what, more people need to appreciate that track?
Oh, bro, yeah.
So for like example, one of my ones is Click Click, which is like a little bit, it's a noughties track, but it's one of them ones where you're like, oh man, why does no one talk about Click Click? So
I'm gonna have to hold on. Let me.
Yeah, man, get on there.
I've got to have to find the album because it's the Raekwon album, but I don't know the name of it. That's another banger. To be fair, the Raekwon.
The first one, Cuban Links.
I played that to death to the point I don't even know the names of the songs.
Rainy Days, Heaven or Hell,
all that shit. Like, hold on, let me just find it. Yeah, the Cuban Links album. I think it was. What's the one? I think it's the third tune.
I got it on
It's the one with that beat. And they had that really wonky piano thing.
Well, I just want you to keep going on like that, mate. Yeah. Hold on, let's have a look. I've got it here somewhere.
Castrated Scarfaces, that's what it's called.
Yes.
Castrated Scarfaces. That is fucking mental.
Yeah. Do you know what? Again, you're right. Not enough people talk about that.
Sleeping, yeah.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, I like that. Good,
Sorry, that was long. You have to edit that bit.
I'm gonna put that on the playlist. So people out there, you have to peep up playlist, man. First of all, mate, thank you again for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's all good, man. Always, you're more than welcome to come in again, mate. Anytime you want to pimp anything.
Yeah,
But
nice.
before you do go, I want to hear, what's the last great music you heard? What's the last great thing you heard?
Oh, bro, the new Bob Vylan album.
I've not heard that.
Bob Vylan, right? He's like punk, rap, grime.
Okay.
And it's so sick. Like
UK?
Yeah, UK. Bob Vylan, 2-piece, 1 drummer, 1 rapper, and yeah, just trigger happy, fucking heavy, synthy, metally, rappy. It's the cross between, it is. It's the cross. It's like a UK equivocal of like Onyx and DMX with Bad Brains and.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's some
damn.
madness. If you type in Bob Vylan on Spotify, you'll get his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just finished an album. It's not coming out yet. It's coming out on the Gallows label.
Okay.
And yeah, he's murdered it. Like that shit just inspires me.
Yeah.
Like, and he's fresh out the gates.
Is this his first stuff? Is it?
Yeah. He's done a couple of EPs. Like he's a new act. But yeah, his stuff's insane.
Okay. I'll check that out, man.
Yeah.
And is there anything you wanted to plug or anything, or pimp, Marjorie?
No, just Dave, my podcast. Hit the Instagram, Killa Kela official, KILLAKELA official, and I just throw stuff up. You know what I mean? So you got your podcast, you got your tunes, you got your beatboxing.
Love that. Fortified, by the way, that new track.
Oh, thank you.
Banging.
Yeah, it's all right.
So that is, you've made every beat, everything with your voice.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. People check that out, man.
Yeah, man. There'll be another one. I've got
grimy.
this tune called Rail Rider that's coming out.
Okay.
Pretty soon as well.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, same sort. No, it's got a posse cut. There's a bunch of MCs on it. Like, I'm just waiting for them to get, it's a bit herding sheep when these posse cuts come in. But it's. I've given myself a deadline this time where I had this tune, Sweet 16s, which had a whole bunch of MCs, and that went on for ages. But these things happen. That's what happens. You're trying to make something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sweet.
Good.
So before you go, mate, we for all our guests, we give them a little T-shirt with our podcast artwork on it.
Oh, sick!
So here you go, mate. This is for you. Just
love it.
You know what I mean? Just try it on, see how you feel. It's
fucking
just
sick. Look at that.
Done it where you want, man.
I love
it.
Yeah.
And if anyone out there wants one of these T-shirts, by the way, just leave us a rap review on iTunes, and if we like your rapped review, we will.
Hey man, this is sick.
We'll shout you out on the pod and get you a free T-shirt, mate.
Mate.
So yeah, enjoy it, man.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
All good,
Love
man.
it.
It's Killa Kela, mate. Thank you for blessing us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
All good, man.
Lovely.
Yeah, peace. Till next time, man.
Next time, my brother. Big love, everyone.
Well, people, hope you enjoyed that interview. I certainly did. Killa Kela, absolute legend for coming in. So just wanted to say thank you for listening, and thank you, by the way, for a great first week. Beyond expectations, the amount of people who are listening. Hopefully, going forward, you'll enjoy some more of the people that we've got coming on. We've got Mr. Chi Modu, who is an absolute hip-hop icon from the 90s, and we're going to have Mr. My Stiggy coming on as well, UK hip-hop legend, and the people that were behind Hip Hop Connection, Andy Cohen, and hopefully Andrew Emery as well. So keep it locked, guys, going forward. Make sure that you review, share and subscribe the podcast everywhere. It'd be brilliant if you're on iTunes, if you can leave us a rap review that I talked about earlier, where you can get some free merch. And if you just want to hit us up on email, we're at crate808@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at crate808, and thank you for all the Twitter love, everyone out there who has just been talking to us. There's just a lot of love in the community, so we're very grateful for all the positive vibes. And also big shout out to Grindhouse Music for sorting us out with all these dope beats for the podcast. Go check them out. If you ever want any beats made, those are the people to check. And generally all the designers and team behind Crate 808, big up, bruh. And also if you want to hit us up on Instagram, we are at crate_808, and on there it's just like hopefully you enjoy some of the graphics that we're making out there. Got like quotes from New York Times and Pitchfork and Stereo Gum, The Source, and they're all talking about the artists, and hopefully it brings to life a little bit of what you're listening to in the podcast. So hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We're everywhere, man, so check it out. Anyway, peace.